Tell me car.
Say peanut.
Peanut.
Butter.
Butter.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about Grayson's first seizure. So this is how the whole journey started, right? So he was like 16 months old, and we were staying at a friend's house of mine, and I had to go pick up another friend from work. So he was getting ready to like fall asleep. So she was like, girl, just take your other baby and I got him. It's fine, cool. Okay, bet. So I leave the house, probably didn't even make it 10 minutes away from her house. She calls me and was like, G, he's having a seizure. And I'm like, what? She like, G, he's having a seizure. So by this time, she's video calling me to show me him. And when I say my child looks so lifeless, like, what do you do when your child is looking lifeless on a screen? So she had already called 911 before she called me. So they had just pulled up, and the ambulance guy was asking me like, you know, is this his first seizure? The seizures running your family, and all these other questions. And I can only fix my mouth to say like this was his first seizure. And he was like, well, with that being his first seizure, we have to take him because we don't know why he had the seizure. And I'm like, huh? Like, I'm so confused. I guess they ended up taking his temperature while he was at the house and said that he had like a temp of like 102, 3. But they had asked me, was he sick? And I said no. So by this time, I had already hopped out the E-way to make it back on the E-way to come back to her house. And when I say I'm not looking for a cop, I'm not looking for a cop. I'm running lights. I don't care. And if I vaguely remember correctly, I think like they tailed me all the way back to my sister's house. But when I get to my sister's house, the ambulance was already there. So I hop out, barely could park my car because I like emotions just on 10. I don't know like what am I walking into or what like just happened. Like I don't know. So I parked the car, tell my older son to go in the house, and I run. And then when I say I hopped. I didn't even step. I hopped. My sister was already sitting in the ambulance with my son. But I'm looking at my son, and he's connected to all types of cords. He got an oxygen mask on, and when I went to touch his hand and call his name, like he's even cold to the touch. And I'm like, OMG, like, what are we walking into? So they ended up taking him to Comer's Children's Hospital. And when we got there, they ran like a bunch of different like virus tests to see if he had like any viruses. All of those came back negative. So they couldn't figure out like where the fever came from, but they knew he just had a fever of like 102, 103. So they told me he had a febrile seizure. All these tests came back negative. So the only thing they could do was break the fever and wait for him to, in the hospital, they call it baseline. So they wanted him to get back to his baseline level before they released him. So I'm asking all types of questions. And I'm like, okay, so is this something that I need to be looking out for or like what? Because I don't even know, like, I don't know. So I'm totally confused, totally lost. And while I'm constipated, I'm praying to God, I'm like, I don't even know what type of situation we're walking into. So they had explained to me, like, we can't really give you meds for this because we don't know, like, if he's going to even continue to have seizures. So I'm like, okay, what do I do if he has seizures again? They were like, the best we could tell you is just call 911. So that left me with unopened answers. So it took him a while to come back to his base level. It took him a long time. When he did, I saw my happy bouncing baby boy again. And from there, I would just say we start having more seizures after that. So this was his first seizure. I would go into depth about a couple more seizures that he had that led him to end up getting medication and actually end up getting rescue meds, but I would save those for another video. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.